everybody, and welcome to a video sponsored by Lumix and to the Faroe Islands. And yes, I'm completely aware that I'm 100% spoiling the view. I've been here a couple of hours, got off the plane literally 2 hours ago, and since then I've gone to buy a pizza. Now I've cooked the pizza, I've eaten the pizza and burnt my tongue on the pizza, and then I've come down to quite a popular photography spot with Nigel, who is somewhere, and I've taken a nice photo or two of this place, which is very picturesque. So yeah, Nigel and I are here for a couple of days, both of which look like a complete washout. So that's why we've come out pretty much straight off the plane via dinner to try and get some shots in the relative dry. It's going quite well so far, other than the fact that Nigel said there might be puffins here, and I've not seen any puffins. He reckons he's seen a couple, but I haven't. Which either means he's got better eyesight than me, or he's lying. So I've not got very good eyesight, so he's probably telling the truth. Relatively successful first drone flight. Quite impressed with the new drone. There was a seagull that wasn't, though. Tried to down it but failed, so 1-0 James. Also I found Nigel, who's busy framing, and still no rain. Still no rain. Right, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, make photography great again. What on earth is he banging on about this time? Well, since I got back from my mega 6-week travel extravaganza in Sri Lanka, Switzerland, Greenland, I know, poor me. Well, I've just been knackered since then, and my photography exposure, if you'll pardon the pun, has pretty much just been indoors looking at photography websites and photography forums, as I'm sure you've experienced in the past too. And I've mainly been looking on websites and forums in the hope of drumming up some ideas for videos going forward. But as many of you will know, if you spend too much time on forums, it will make you go mad. Now there's plenty of spirited debate on forums. There's plenty of fruitful conversations. Lots of positive comes from those conversations that happen on photography forums. There's also lots of pathetic my dad is bigger than your dad opinion being thrown around. Lots of people who think they're better than other people because they use bigger cameras, because they've been shooting for longer, because they used film back in the day. Lots of pathetic reasons to try and belittle other people and their opinions. And I hate reading stuff like that on photography forums or anything to do with photography, because as far as I'm concerned, that's not what photography is about. It's about expressing yourself, and it's about your kind of journey and experience with, in this case, the outdoors. And typically the people who are belittling and bullying others, they are also the people who refuse to show other people their work. In other words, they don't particularly matter. Their opinions don't matter at all. So anyway, yeah, I've had a month of just kind of looking at those places and becoming increasingly depressed about what photography is. So actually it's lovely to come to, admittedly, what is one of the best places in the world to take photos outdoors, I think, as far as I've seen from pictures on Flickr in the past and what I'm seeing with my own eyes now. So yeah, that's what this video is about, basically, for me, to get back outside and realise why I love photography again, and not just sit listening to people talk about what their favourite film is and why that makes them a much more accomplished photographer than somebody else who's just started and is asking an innocent question. So yeah, feels good to be outside again. Day 2 here in the Faroe Islands, and guess what? It's about lunchtime and it's still not rained. I can't quite believe it. Touch wood, it stays the same. We have come to, I don't know what this place is called, but it's quite famous. You may recognise it. It's a good job I'm here with Nigel, because he knows guides and he's been here 4 or 5 times before to do workshops and stuff, and therefore he's got us sorted with a pretty good itinerary. I wouldn't have a clue where we're going, but yeah, pretty lucky on this trip. God. I mean, I know a lot of people really enjoy a good sunrise and a good sunset, but for me, this is the best light there is. Nice flat light in places like this, phenomenal places like this with lots of green and lots of blue. And this light, I find, just makes the other things kind of the star of the show. And for that reason, it's my favourite time of day to shoot, which is good as a photographer, because if you go to places at sunrise and sunset, certainly popular places like this, a lot of the time they're crowded at the more popular times of day, whereas when it's like this, there's not really anyone else here. Actually, part of the reason that there's no one else here in this particular place is that you need a guide to access this land in the Faroe Islands. So I should introduce you to Thomas, actually. Everybody, this is our guide Thomas. Thomas, can you tell us a little bit about this place? What's it called?
Strangarney.
Strangarey. It's one of the most incredible places I've ever been. I've also learned 2 interesting facts about you, actually. 7 languages, and what was your injury? Was it the first time you came here, Nigel?
That's correct. I had an external meniscus tear, and I had to walk pretty much 10 kilometers with a bad knee. But
it was all my fault, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I didn't want to get into local news, so I didn't want to get any like an emergency call with a helicopter getting to pick me up. So we just did the hard hike home.
Yeah. I mean, there's a hard hike and there's a tear in your knee.
Yeah.
So that's quite impressive. Dedicated guide.
Yeah, amazing guide.
Thanks.
So yes, if you fancy coming here, Thomas's link to his Instagram is in the description.
Nice to meet you guys.
Well, second drone flight, great success again, and spoiling the view again, aren't I? Fine. Nigel's just got wet.
See you guys. Okay, we'll give it a try.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, oh yeah?
Yeah.
Sounds good. So we're going to try and land on that island. What could possibly go wrong? Well, we've made it, and we're on what I believe is called Nikon Island, and I don't know if you can see the massive, I don't even know what you'd call that, cliff, basically, behind me, but I need to try and get some sort of photo of that. It's what you saw in some of the other photos, but now from the other side, because we're on that island, which I don't think many people get to do. Pretty lucky, really. Pretty damn lucky. Well, I can tell you now, I've never seen anything like that. I've got no idea if this video will do anything like justice for scale. Probably not. But that is by some distance the biggest cliff face I've ever seen. Certainly rising from the sea. I mean, El Capitan in Yosemite is pretty big, but that just rises out of nowhere. Ooh, quick, 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 quick. Quick, quick, quick. Excited. I get a lot of comments that say something to the effect of you're kind of cheating with your photography because you're going to the best places in the world for photography. And it's true, I travel a lot, I've been around the world, and I'm very, very lucky to have this as my job. But this place is the ultimate cheat, I think. You literally just point your camera and shoot. I don't deserve any credit for these photos, I don't think. None. Still, just because there's no feeling of achievement doesn't really take away from the joy of being here and being in the outdoors. This is so much better than forums. I'm contemplating asking Nigel to go and stand on one of those first cliffs. Trouble is, I already need a favour from him because he has a spare drone battery. So I need it because he hasn't got his drone with him, and I need his battery because, I mean, if there's anywhere for a drone flight, it's here. How you getting on?
This is mental.
It's good, isn't it? Can I steal that drone battery, please?
Just can't believe I still got it in my bag. You've got to carry it back though.
Deal.
There you go.
Spot on. The key. Well, I don't know what you think, Nigel. I think this is much better than being sat at a computer reading forums.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, I think sometimes it's difficult to get out, isn't it, and get away from just reading things. And sometimes if you post something on a forum and you get a bad comment, it sort of demotivates you. But I think if you just actually get out in the environment and get your camera out, then you just, I mean, you can go anywhere, can't you? We're in this amazing place here, but it's just so much better to be outdoors.
Yeah, 100%. And if you are the sort of person that's kind of contributed to those forums and you've been knocked down by other people, then don't worry, because those kinds of people typically aren't the kinds of people who actually enjoy photography in my experience. They're the kinds of people that don't actually get out, aren't they? And they just talk about gear rather than using it.
Yeah, they do. And there are a lot of people that just, you know, gear's an important part of photography, but there's just people that all they do is talk about what gear people should have and their opinions on gear, and at the end of the day it just doesn't matter, does it? You know, everyone likes good gear. I like getting a new camera, there's no doubt about that, but it really doesn't matter. And you should just, whatever camera you've got, you just need to get out and shoot, and you just feel so much. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah,
especially
100%.
Landscape photography.
Get outdoors, in particular to here, the Faroes.
You need to get a boat to here.
You do need to get a boat here. Also, if you fancy coming to the Faroes, as I said before, Nigel's been 4 or 5 times, and he's just told me that he's willing to answer everybody's questions about the Faroes within, what, 10 minutes, did you say?
Yeah, if you come on my workshop, which I will be announcing soon.
Plug in.
Back to photography.
There'll be a link to Nigel's website in the description. We've had some dinner and we're back out. Working hard today. You know what they say, you can sleep when you're dead. So I'm not really that sort of person, but I can sleep on Tuesday when I'm home. That'd be my motto. We've come to a place called Witch's Finger, which is an interesting name for a place, and it's quite spectacular, as is everywhere here really. And we're just trying to get a couple of shots to round off the day. We've been going for about 12 or 13 hours, so pretty tired, but I think you've got to do that kind of thing when you're here and you're only here for a couple of days, particularly when the weather's held off. If you do come to the Faroe Islands, make note that you should pay zero attention to the forecast, because today it's been completely wrong. It hasn't rained all day, and it was supposed to rain all day. Speaking of mottos, if you find with your photography that you're struggling to get outside and your photography world is made up of time spent on websites and on forums and stuff, and you're finding that that's just a bit of a depressing place to be, then the solution, I can assure you, is to get outside. Specifically, if you can, to get outside to the Faroe Islands or somewhere like this, but I know that's not really an option for lots of people. But the next video will be from here in the Faroe Islands, and I'll be doing another one with Nigel, and that'll be all about skill that really helped develop my photography. And yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about it at this stage than that. I'll save it for the video, but yeah, that's the next one. And at some point soon I will edit my Greenland vlog as well, which I keep meaning to do. That was 6 weeks ago, and you're going to see this one first, I imagine. But such is the way on my channel. It's not really a precise place in many ways. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon.